Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jess. I am a third grade teacher in Southern California, and I am so excited because I just got done with my very last parent-teacher conference. I just feel like I can breathe again. I'm not stressed out. I'm caught up with grades and my room is clean. I'm planned for the week we get back from break. I'm just feeling pretty good. So I wanted to share some fun things that we've been doing with you guys and kind of catch you guys up because I feel like I haven't really been vlogging that much lately. I took like 3 weeks or like a month off because I was just overwhelmed. I've had a lot of stuff going on in my classroom that has just been really, really exhausting. So I feel like I'm caught back up. I feel like I'm feeling good today and I'm ready to pick the camera back up. So one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about was how I've been teaching how-to writing. So we finished our friendly letter unit. I showed you guys a little bit of that, and now we're working on our how-to genre writing. So I started by showing them, well, I'll just flip around and show you. So I started with explaining to them exactly what is included in a how-to style writing. This came directly from Wonders, and it also comes with an example of what how-to writing looks like. It was really, really complicated though. So instead of using the example that they gave that I felt was a little bit too complex for third graders and they were really having a hard time following it, which is one of my big complaints with Wonders, especially in the writing portion, it does not make sense. So we did it for cooking. So we talked about all the different steps that we would need to do for how to make a pizza. We talked about how to introduce that to your readers, the steps that are followed, listing materials, using time order words like first, then, next, last, finally. And then the last part is kind of confusing too, but I told them you only really need to include facts, definitions, and details that explain the step if it's hard to understand. So if we're making a pizza and we're using some kind of fancy sauce, you might want to explain to them where they can get it or what it is. But pretty much for the kind of writing that third graders are going to be doing for how-to, they're not really going to need that part. And then after I went over my example and showed them how to write it for how to make a pizza, I had them explain to me how they would make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So I told them ahead of time that they had to be as specific as possible because after that, the next day, we were going to be using their writing to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. So the next day I brought peanut butter, jelly, bread, plates, napkins, a knife, a butter knife, and a spoon. And I actually messed up because I don't like peanut butter, so I never eat peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I got jam instead of jelly. Make sure you don't get jam because that does not spread. It was like congealed in one spot. But it was a really cool visual for the kids to see exactly how specific they needed to be because a lot of them missed a lot of steps. So they didn't say to take the bread out of the bag. They didn't say to take a knife and stick it in the jar and get how much peanut butter you need. They didn't say when you're putting the sandwich together to make sure that the peanut butter and jelly are touching. So when I did it, I just dunked my whole hand in the peanut butter and I had like peanut butter and jelly, peanut butter and jam hands, and it was disgusting, and they were so engaged and they were just like dying laughing. They thought it was the funniest thing in the world, but I feel like it really helped to stick in their brains like when I'm doing this style of writing, I need to be as specific as possible so that my reader understands exactly the next step in this process. So from there, we went back to our seats and now they're working on any how-to writing that they want. So they can teach someone how to do anything. It doesn't have to be just with food, but they have that visual in their head to help remind them of what needs to be included. So then when they're doing their actual writing, we did something from Too Cool for Middle School called Starbucks Time. So I'm going to show you the slide that we put up and how we use it in third grade. Okay, so excuse the glare. It's kind of hard to find an area where the windows are not blocking it. But this slide came from Too Cool for Middle School. This was her original idea, and I just think the slide is so cute, but you could easily recreate it without using this slide. Basically, the kids have to pretend like they're at Starbucks during the writing time. So they're working quietly and independently. They can listen to music if they want with their headphones on. They can eat a snack just like they do at Starbucks, and they have to be productive. So all of this is to help them stay focused and hopefully motivate them and encourage them to enjoy writing time and to get as much writing done as possible. And in order to kind of have that up and have them still be able to follow all the steps, I just wrote down exactly what those steps were. Plus in the middle I stuck in there, be specific. That way I could have the Starbucks Time slide up and then they still could see what steps they needed to include. And then if you're curious about having them listen to music, I do let them listen to YouTube. YouTube is not blocked from their Chromebooks, but I told them that they could search for a song or artist they like, but they needed to type the word clean after so there weren't any bad words and they weren't listening to things that were inappropriate. And then some of them asked if they could listen to music that didn't have words. We play a lot of that in class, like calming classical music. So I told them that they could type in the word instrumental if they wanted to find that. And then in order to be able to do this, they had to minimize their screen so that they weren't just sitting there watching the music video, but that it was just playing the next song. They didn't have to sit there and kind of scroll through the different songs to be wasting a bunch of time looking for music instead of writing. So when I first was trying the whole Starbucks time writing for this, I was honestly a little bit nervous because Megan, the person who created this, teaches middle school, and so I was kind of nervous to try it with elementary school students, especially third graders. It's pretty young, and I was hoping that they would be able to stay focused and not get distracted by the videos. Oh my gosh, you guys, it was absolutely amazing. Like, this is one of those ideas that just worked. My kids were so excited that they got to listen to music. They were so excited that they got to eat. I had a little bag of like cheese puff cracker things. I don't even know what they're called, but I put some on a napkin for the kids who didn't have snacks with them. And even if they weren't able to eat, because some of them didn't want to eat, and even if you didn't have snacks, just giving them the option to listen to music and kind of be in their own little zone while they're writing was so cool to watch them be so focused. Every single one of my students finished their writing. All of them. So that was really cool to see. That's definitely something that I'm going to be trying again. And I just wanted to share it because I feel like on social media, more Instagram in my opinion, because there's so many teachers on Instagram or like Pinterest, you see all these ideas and you're like, does that work? How does that work? How I want to see the end result. I want to hear someone talking about it to see if it was actually beneficial and productive and effective. And this is one of those things that was all three of those things. And my kids loved it. Like, they thought it was the coolest thing. So I would definitely give that a try. And I will try to find, I think it was a TPT. Yeah, it was a free TPT download. The Starbucks time, I don't know, you probably can't even see it, but the Starbucks time slide to put on your whiteboard or smartboard or whatever. So I will link it down below from TPT so you guys can download it if you wanted to try it. I also want to share these adorable Thanksgiving multiplication turkey art/math project. That was a lot. They turned out really good. So all I did was I found the image of the turkey on Google. I just put it on a PowerPoint, printed one out for each kid. They got to decorate it however they want. As you can see, they didn't have to make it look like a real turkey. I said they could get as crazy as they wanted to. And I did, but I think it looks cute. So they got to color that, cut it out. And then I also just drew freehand the outline of what I thought a feather looked like. And then I printed it on red, orange, and yellow paper. And then each of the feathers is a different multiple. So they had to do 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And this person didn't put them in order, but that's okay. Because those are the hardest factors in my opinion. They have their 1s and their 2s down. 5s are easy, 10s are easy, and everything else they need some practice with. So I just had them start at the top and they had to write each number sentence from 1 all the way to 10. Again, this is probably a bad example because this person only did to their 9s, but that's okay. And then I just had them put their turkey on a piece of brown paper, and I just love how they turned out. It was a fun way to practice their multiplication facts, and they look really cute, and I love any time that I can mix in art with an actual content area. So I don't have this on TPT because it was just images that I stole from offline, like the turkey, and then the feather was just something that I drew freehand. So I don't have a link for it, but if you wanted to copy it, feel free. Speaking of multiplication, I also wanted to share with you guys these posters. I know I shared the songs before, but I went ahead and printed out the posters for those songs. These are from A Latte Learning on Instagram and TPT. These are amazing. All of my kids can sing all of these songs. So each multiple has a song that it goes to. You can see the title of the song on the top of the multiple. And I have been using them every single day before we do our little timed multiplication test. And then I also have been using them as call-in responses. So I will just start the first part of it. So like for Old Town Road, I would just say, yeah, I'm gonna count my 3s. And then they just start singing and I stop. So not only is it good for an attention getter because then afterwards they know that I need their attention, they stop talking, they look at me, but then they're also practicing those songs all the time. So I would definitely recommend buying this product. It's only a couple dollars, but it has been my favorite thing that I've ever used to help my kids really learn their multiplication facts. As I told you guys, I just got done with my parent conferences. Almost every single parent, when we started talking about multiplication, brought up these songs. We're like, oh yeah, they've been singing the Old Town Road song and the Get Up Challenge song, and they love it. all of them. So that was really cool for me to hear from the parents that not only are the kids liking it in class, but they're going home singing them to their parents, teaching their parents, and talking about how much they like it and are excited about it. So that really was a cool thing for me to hear. I just wanted to share that because I know in 3rd grade, multiplication is such a huge, huge concept to teach, and it can be really tricky, and it's really hard to get those multiplication facts memorized. So I just wanted to share something that has really, really worked. So thank you, Haley, the creator of these posters and songs, because this is like the most genius idea. In years past, I've used songs to teach multiplication, but they're either really old songs that the kids don't even know, so it's not really like fun and exciting to them, or they don't know the tune, or they have a ton of words in them where it's really hard for the kids to understand just what the numbers are, what the multiples are. So doing it in a way where there's not a lot of words surrounding them, just a couple in each song, and then from there it's just the tune and the multiples is perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. So I'm just so excited that this exists because I am not really like that musical. So having someone else create it and then I can just use it is perfect. So thanks, Haley, you are a genius. I feel like because I haven't picked up my camera and vlogged in so long, I have so many things to show you guys that I just kind of have to like catch up on. So another thing that I did this last week is I split my kids into new houses. So if you've seen my videos before, my kids are split into kind of like Harry Potter style houses, and they work in those houses all the time. All the time. We're constantly collaborating, we're constantly working together, and those are the kids that they're working with. So I have 23 students in my class, and I had 4 houses for the beginning part of the year, the first trimester. So there was about 6 kids in each group, and I was just finding that it was too big of a group for them all to be able to participate and really contribute to the well-being of the group. So what I decided was that I was going to make 6 houses, and then there would be about 4 kids in each group. My kids have been so excited to get their new houses ever since I told them like the beginning of October that in November we were going to be getting new houses. So if you didn't have a chance to see, I think it was it the first week of school vlog? I don't remember. One of the vlogs from the beginning of the year, I told you guys how I split my houses. So I did it the same way. I just used the cup of sticks that I have, and I just pulled names. So each of these sticks has a number on the other side, so I just randomly would pull a stick, and then I had a little jar of the house names in them. So I had 23 kids, so I just used each house name 4 times, and then I just let it be up to fate with which house was not going to have a 4th member. And I called the kids up one at a time, and they got to pull their hand in the jar, and the rest of the class was like, you know, drum rolling on their desks, and then I just wrote it down on a clipboard. But I really wanted to make a display. I have this board that says We're Family, and you can see there's literally 3 pictures on it. I was really good last year about printing out pictures and cutting them out and putting them on the board, but I don't know why I can't keep up with it this year. And it's been so windy this school year, so anytime anyone opens the door, all of those just like fly away. So I want to show you guys what I did for my display to kind of have class pictures instead. And then I'm going to show you guys in another vlog what I'm going to do here instead, because over Thanksgiving break, I'm going to change it. So I'm going to flip you around and show you my door. Okay, so the glare is truly awful. All the letters are laminated, but this is what my door looks like right now. As you guys know, we use the house system, so I'm not going to go too much closer because I can't show my students' faces, so I don't want to show the pictures up close. But the 6 houses, 1 family was made on my Silhouette Cameo, so I just cut the letters out on regular cardstock. And then the 3 pictures in the middle are full class pictures. And then at the bottom, I took pictures of them on the stage with the white background so that it would all match. The pictures of them with their housemates, their new housemates from the houses that they just got put into. So those shields came from Miss Fifth, and then I just put cardstock behind it. I know that this is probably going to get ruined, or I'm going to have to replace the pictures, but I thought it'd be fun to maybe switch the pictures out every so often. Those are the only things that aren't laminated, and everything else is kind of holding up, but some of the pictures are already tearing on the sides because my kids, you know, they're going to touch the door as they're opening it, so no big deal. I just wanted this to be the first thing that people see when they walk into our classroom, because the house system and really being a classroom family is something that is so important to me, and it's the heart of everything that I do here. It's the reason why my students feel so comfortable and confident and take risks in their learning. It's the reason why my kids have so much fun and love coming to school. It's the reason why I really have very few classroom management issues or behavior problems. And it's the reason why I love my job. So it just makes me smile to know that anyone who walks in our door immediately gets that feeling that we are a family, and in this classroom, we might be split into groups and we might be competing against one another, but we are truly a family united at the end of the day. So this idea came from Laughing and Learning, I think is her name, Kimberly, on Instagram. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, I have to do this. So thank you, Kimberly, for such a wonderful idea. And it just puts such a huge smile on my face, and I love how it turned out. So don't mind the glare, but this would be very easy to emulate, and my kids have all said that they absolutely love it. And it just adds a little pop of color to this side of the room because I hate the color of the door. It's like that weird, gross, brown, reddish color, and it just adds a little color and makes it a little bit more visually appealing, and I just love it. So I wanted to share that with you guys. One other thing that I did when I got new houses for the kids, since we went from 4 houses to 6, I don't know if you guys remember or if I've really shown it that often in vlogs, but over where these house labels are used to be big picture frames, and then I just had the house shields, kind of like what was on the door, glued to each picture frame, but there wasn't going to be room to put 2 more, and I didn't really like how much space it took up. So instead, I just printed these out. These came from that same pack that I got the shields from Miss Fifth. So each house has their own little point tracker. And then next to it, I just put what that house's responsibility is to take care of and make sure is clean at the end of the day. So 3 houses have to go around the room with a little piece of tape and make sure that all the trash and little things are picked up off the floor. 1 house is in charge of the bins, so making sure that their little bins don't have headphone wires sticking out, that everyone's bin is facing the right way, and making sure that anyone who needs help at the end of the day with putting their bin away can have help if they're finished cleaning up. And then one of them is in charge of the living room, so this little area. So making sure that these blue chairs are pushed together correctly, the pillows are fixed, which they did not do today, but that's okay. Picking up any little trash. So now that I'm looking at it, there's like a little piece of trash over there. They did not do a very good job at the end of the day today, but that's all right. We'll talk about it tomorrow. And then 1 house is in charge of the library, so making sure that at the end of the day, the books are put back nicely. My bookshelf is still broken. I haven't got another one yet, but making sure that these books look nice, most of them do. Making sure that if there's any books out, that they put them away. All the books are facing the right way. Making sure that the nugget is in order and that the rug is in order. So it just kind of keeps them accountable to make sure that our classroom looks nice, especially this week with parents coming in. Every single parent was here, so making sure that, you know, when we have visitors, that we are welcoming them into a clean, nice, orderly classroom, and that looks nice. And then it gives them a little bit of personal responsibility and kind of hopefully gives them a little bit more ownership of the classroom, that it's not just my classroom, it's their classroom too, and we all got to do what we can to do our part to keep it looking nice. So I just wanted to share that in case you guys were getting a little bit overwhelmed with having to clean everything on your own. And then if you guys missed the earlier vlog where I talked about this, these Essential 35 shields came from Teaching and Coffee, I want to say. I'm not sure. I can link down below the TPT product that I bought to get those. But I have a whole video going over the house system and the Essential 35, so I will link that down below also if you're interested in learning more about how I kind of introduce these and why I use them, how I talk to parents about them, and all kinds of good stuff. So I'll link that down below. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I'm exhausted. It's been such a long week, but it's been a wonderful week. Parent conferences went awesome, better than I could have even expected. I truly have the most amazing kids and families, and it was just such a joy to get to share all their progress and growth and all the amazing little things that I have noticed about them. So it was truly so much fun to get to meet with the families and brag about their kids, share all their growth, and talk about all the amazing things that they are accomplishing so far this year. So I hope that you guys had a similar experience with conferences and that they went well. And if they didn't, enjoy your break. They're over. And I hope that you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving break and truly take the time to rest and relax and have fun and get rejuvenated for the rest of the year. So I will see you guys soon for another video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you soon. Bye!